Hey everyone, this is Karen Waksman, founder of Retail MBA. Today we're going to be talking about sell-through rates. So if you have a great product that's perfect for stores, you're going to hear the word sell-through rates, and we just want to explain it and give you some suggestions. With that said, let's get started on today's training. So let's talk about sell-through rates in regards to chain stores. What's a sell-through rate? It's basically the number of units you've sold. Basically, it measures the amount of inventory you've sold in a month versus the amount of inventory shipped. So ultimately, what it is, how many units have you sold in a given period of time, and whether or not it's working, right? So you're selling to, say, Target stores, and you shipped them X number of units, and they're looking at their analytics to see whether or not it's sold, to sell-through rate. It's the hardest thing to cry over for people who are getting started and selling to stores. Because if your product isn't selling, eventually they're going to get rid of your product. And so it's heartbreaking, right? But it can be very exciting. If it sells, they buy more quantity, you make millions of dollars for some of these big guys. It's a big deal. The thing I want you to know about sell-through rates is that they're going to go and tell you that a great sell-through rate is between 40% and 80%. Obviously, if you sell half of the goods that you brought to them, that's a very great sell-through rate. I'm here to tell you that after all the years of working with chain stores, if they could get an 80% sell-through rate, they'd cry. It's obviously they equals the buyers. Really, at this point, with all the competition, with the online retail market, all the things, very few products get that much success, but they still want a high sell-through rate. So let's just say in a dream state, they're selling at least half of their products that they bought from you over a period of time. Now, you can't do much if it doesn't sell is false. What you can actually do is help them sell during that time. What that looks like is maybe during the time the product's in their stores or on their website, you maybe send some advertising their way. Maybe you do something cool to get the word out in the regions that the product is in. So if it's in the Northeast region, can you do some sort of campaign? Can you get some influencers to talk about it? Can you drive people to that store to buy? You guys are smart. There's ways that you can get the word out about your product during that time that will increase your sell-through rate. Anything you can do to help a buyer will increase your sell-through rate. Now, a lot of people don't do that. The majority of the people who sell a product to a buyer assume that the buyer is just going to sell the product and that should be good enough. A lot of you end up not keeping your product in stores because if it doesn't sell, it really is on you and ultimately the product goes away. They're giving you a platform to be in front of a lot of people. Are you going to work with that? It's if you put your product on Amazon and you just throw it up and you don't do any advertising or anything at all to let the world know about your product, it's going to do okay. It's not going to do phenomenal. The ones that are really successful are throwing some money in it. Now, that may break your heart. You have to spend more money and so forth. But ultimately, this is the big dogs. This is the big game. You obviously believe in your product enough to sell it to the mass stores. You have to consider that you should probably help them sell stuff. Now, the good news is in our Retail MBA program, we talk about what happens once you get an order, how to help yourself, a bunch of different ideas, what's working and so forth. And also how to ensure that the product is set up so properly that maybe you don't need to spend as much money on advertising because we'll teach you how to prepare your product in advance to make it exciting for the customer and so forth. Sometimes it's just that your product doesn't look as good as you think out in the world, and that's why the sell-through rate is down. So on a low end, if your product really isn't converting well, sometimes it happens. Don't quit. Don't give up. Go to other stores, find other solutions, change the name of your company, maybe just the product, whatever, start over again, tweak the product a little bit. Don't quit. Sometimes it's really a retailer that mixed it up Sometimes it's just they put it in the wrong section of the store, or it was bad timing. Sometimes it just is, and you just do not quit. You find other ways to sell this product. If you believed enough to bring that product out to market, you just keep going. So in regards to sell-through rates, you're going to hear it from buyers. They're going to bring up sell-through rates because they're actually going to give you technology to review the statistics of what's going on with your product. This day and age, it's all set in stone, X number of units sold. They will check up with you, let you know what's going on with the product. Obviously, Walmart has a solution where they'll tell you in real time if the product's selling. The cool thing about that is if store by store, some stores are selling really well, some stores are not. You might want to go to those stores to find out why it's not selling. Maybe it was a simple mistake that could be fixed. These are big dollars. Once you get into the big retail chains, you can make a lot of money. And so this is where you have to shine, and you have to do what you have to do to get the job done. Now, you can sell to a retailer and not do anything. It's possible. There are exceptions to the rule where people did nothing and they still succeeded. Who knows? But at the end of the day, most of the time, you got to put your effort into things in order for it to scale. I wish I had nothing to do all day long, but I always have something to do with this business. It is what it is. We have to work. So the good news is, you know what a sell-through rate is. You know it matters. You know they're looking at the math and the numbers. What are you going to do about it? And you get to choose as a business owner. And if you don't want to do anything and you just want to see if it works, good for you. For the rest of us who really want to succeed and make many millions of dollars possibly, because guess what? If it works for one store, the buyers are going to notice and they're going to pick you up to other stores. It's like a domino effect. They basically look at your product. If it's selling in one store, the other buyers will be calling. I've seen it a lot, and or reaching out will be very easy because you can open up a bunch more accounts if the sell-through works. Karen Waksman, Retail MBA, if you want some support with some consulting, coaching, and or have us go after stores for you, please take a look at retailmba.com. Thanks so much.